one of my teachers tells the story of the mouse as to why it's important for us, like why that shame response actually is supportive to us. So imagine this, a mouse is in the forest, or let's say a woodland, because I don't know if mice are in forest, but I know they're in woodlands. So there's a mouse in the woodland, and it's been estranged from its safety and belonging, its family, okay? It's going by, it's now the middle of the night, it's been looking for its family the whole day, it starts squeaking, squeak, 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 going through the forest. And at some point, if the mouse keeps squeaking, what's going to happen? It's going to get eaten. It's going to be found. And so shame comes in to cut off our ability to speak, to shut down, it's like this huge alarm that goes off inside of us that says, stop. And when we live inside of shame, it's like we're walking around in the feeling of, I'm wrong, I'm bad, things are not right here. I don't have a place in the world. I don't know where I belong. And that's why reconnecting with belonging is such an important part of overcoming shame. But that place where we're in shame, we are in an altered state. We do not have access to choice or voice. So I want to just say this because it's so important for us to have self-compassion for that part that feels shame. It's so important, so important. Without that, we won't get through it. Now, when we feel shame, the impact is that we go numb, like I said. So if, this is a joy course, joy in the body. So when we feel shame, we can no longer receive pleasure. We no longer have an access to joy. And if we live like our body is shameful, it's going to disrupt or interrupt any positive experiences that we're having. It's like this, yeah? You're walking along to meet your friend, or you walk into the kitchen and someone says, well, you look so lovely today. Now, that could be an opportunity to have a positive experience. For how many of you is that a solely positive experience? For how many of you feel like, yeah, that feels so good. And then comes along shame. The shame that says, oh no, not even, no, I'm not beautiful, but no, don't look at me. Stop looking at me. Please stop looking at me and stop acknowledging how I look. And in the same way, if we're receiving a hug from someone, shame will impact our ability to receive that hug. I don't know why I'm doing it so strong. Loving hug. And that makes me think about another reason we don't just have shame with our physical body, but we also have shame with our desires, with our wants and our needs. We don't experience our needs like, oh, what essential, I think of my needs like my essential desires. These are my essential desires. These are my go-to, must-have. Let me prioritize these because it feels so good. But for a long time, I just felt needy. Having needs is needy. And there is shame. I need this. Ugh, makes people cringe. Ugh, I'm like with a new client. So what do you need to feel really good today? Ugh, I don't know. I don't need anything. I don't even know why I'm here. I'm so good. It's just not true, right? We all have our needs. So shame really gets inside of our sense of identity, and it disrupts our ability to function in a normal, healthy way because it impacts our conscience. I'm bad. Not I've done something bad is guilt that impacts our sense of identity. I'm bad. I'm wrong is so much deeper. And it actually affects our self-concept. Who am I? It impacts our sense of dignity. It creates a low self-esteem, all these things. So when we're in a shame response, we tend to attack someone. We feel vulnerable, so we attack outwards. It's like a defense. We might attack ourselves. This is my go-to. Might attack ourselves. Why did you do that, Aisha? You're so stupid. So shameful. We might avoid. So I already spoke about saying, oh, I don't know, I don't feel anything. That's one type of avoidance, but avoiding can also be like, I don't want any mirrors in the house. I don't look at myself before I get in the shower. I don't want to look at my face before or have others see me before I have makeup on. I don't want to undress ever. I never want to be able to see my naked body. I'm going to avoid intimate contact, hugs, because I don't want people to feel my belly, things like that. And of course, withdraw. We withdraw and we say, I'm just not going to go out. Just not going to hang out with, I'm just not going to go. No, I'm not going to see them. No, I won't talk to that person because they might invite me somewhere. I have to say no again. We withdraw parts of ourselves. We don't share things that we would really otherwise like to speak about. And I've been talking quite a bit about conscious shame, but unconscious shame, what does that look like? Well, we might do those things, but we also, I noticed, doing things really fast. So when people come to me with sexual shame, they're having really fast, hard, intense experiences. Or if I think about looking at people who have shame around like receiving hugs, they're just like hug really fast, just like whoosh, whoosh, like they were never there. And, and that can either be because the shame stops us from being able to tolerate and have capacity to receive that moment. Like the shame is there talking at us, so we just are in and out. Or it's because it's just so excruciating to receive the thing that we want, that we've been yearning for so long, that we can't receive it without also feeling all of that pain and shame and sadness. It's unbearable. So, shame shattering conversation. This is what we're doing right now. And I'm going to invite you to be further part of this conversation soon, not to freak you out or anything. But here we have a safe space because we created unconditional positive regard. One thing that we can do if we are in a shame response is self-regulation tools, like we did at the beginning. Stretching. I know it sounds wild. Why would stretching help me with shame? It just does. Try it. Moving around. So shame takes us into a place of freeze, right? So if we're moving, and we want to do this, we might only be able to move our toes in our shoes as we feel shame. That's enough to start coming out of a shame response. But if you can just go, woo, shame. Let me get that off me. Let me have a little shake. And a huge part of what's happening here is that we're finding self-compassion. Compassion to love the parts of ourselves that we might have been speaking really badly about and creating a lot of judgment around, or perpetuating a lot of judgment around, because I think mostly we don't create self-judgment. We absorb it from society and then we perpetuate it. But the biggest thing that I did to overcome shame was to stop attaching and identifying myself to little bits of me, right? Like another shame piece I have is that I get body acne but I get body acne when I'm emotional. And actually, one thing that's really helped, if we come back to like the meaning and associations with the body, is appreciating, oh, my body is expressing itself. My body has been hurt this week, and this is what that looks like. And rather than judging that and like scrubbing that with like acne wash, oh, what if I took some time to like caress and lotion it and speak with it? So not only have I been able to detach from identifying with these little aspects of myself, but I've also created a sense of core self that has a much deeper root to it. And that allows me to psychologically frame myself in a way where I have freedom and choice.